Ohio gozaimasu. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here today for the announcement of Bluetooth 4.2 to the market. This has been one of the most exciting announcements for Bluetooth to date, and I'm very pleased to share some details with you about it today. The Bluetooth SIG is a global standards organization which is responsible for the development and promotion of Bluetooth technology. We're comprised of over 25,000 member organizations, and these are the companies that are building Bluetooth products. We've been growing at an enormous rate over the last several years, and that continued in 2014. In 2014, our membership grew by over 25% on a global basis. It's really an astounding rate of growth because we've seen those kinds of double-digit growth rates for year over year for the past 3 years. So this is actually increasing at the speed at which companies are joining the Bluetooth SIG. When you look at the number of companies joining the Bluetooth SIG from the Asia Pacific region, you can see that that growth rate is actually even faster than the global average. Last year we added 28%, where we increased our membership in Asia Pacific companies by 28%. And as you can see, the Japan membership is actually the second largest in all of the Asia Pacific region. For Japan, we grew members at a 22% rate year over year. So we see companies joining the Bluetooth SIG that are both large companies and small companies and startups. It runs the entire range of all kinds of different companies for implementing Bluetooth in various different markets. More companies coming to Bluetooth SIG means more products entering the marketplace for consumers to purchase. Bluetooth started back in 1998, and in 2000 we shipped 800,000 Bluetooth products worldwide. And just last year, that had grown to over 3 billion products that were enabled with Bluetooth that shipped last year on a global basis. And when you project out to 2018, that number grows to almost 5 billion. And when you think about that, it's about the same number of people that are on the entire planet. It's about equal to the human population. And that number of Bluetooth products will ship in just 1 year. It's really phenomenal. So what's driving that growth? Why are so many products coming to market that use Bluetooth technology? Well, first of all, it has to do with what has become the center of most people's lives in terms of technology, and that's the smartphone. And analysts project that by 2018, 96% of all mobile phones, not just smartphones, but feature phones, all mobile handsets, 96% will have Bluetooth technology in them. It makes it a very, very convenient place for manufacturers to connect to their consumers. As I said, Bluetooth came out about 16 years ago, and traditional Bluetooth was very much associated with audio streaming, connecting one's headset to a phone or to your car. And that's a very important market for Bluetooth today. We continue to see more and more products coming to market that use Bluetooth classic technology, particularly for audio streaming. We see many, many new speakers that connect to smartphones and tablets every day. But what we introduced in 2010 was Bluetooth Smart. And that was a completely new version of Bluetooth, and it had two distinct features from Bluetooth Classic. The first is it's extremely power efficient. And that's on the order of magnitude of a traditional Bluetooth device might run for a month or 2 months on a AA battery. Well, Bluetooth Smart can run for up to 2 years on a tiny point cell battery. It's orders of magnitude much more power efficient. It's also extremely fast. It makes an incredibly fast connection, 3 milliseconds. It's almost instantaneous. But along with the extreme power efficiency, we introduced also something very important, and that was a very flexible application development environment. We made it very simple for developers to create new Bluetooth products without having to need to wait for the Bluetooth SIG to provide a standardized data set. We provided a tool set that allows them to create products and innovate very quickly. And because we provided something that's very power efficient and also something very flexible that can be applied to new scenarios, we saw an explosion in the growth of Bluetooth Smart. Bluetooth Smart, as a matter of fact, is one of the fastest growing wireless technologies in history. And today we're pleased to announce some additions to Bluetooth Smart that are coming in Bluetooth 4.2. Simply put, Bluetooth 4.2 is the fastest, most secure, most connected version of Bluetooth yet. It provides some very important updates to previous versions of Bluetooth, and I'll go through some of the specifics of that right now. The first is that along with Bluetooth 4.2, we've announced the capability to provide an internet address, an IPv6 address to a Bluetooth device. This is a new capability and one that we see as really enabling the Internet of Things, turning it from an idea into a reality where just about any device, because of the power efficiency of Bluetooth Smart, can be connected directly to the Internet. Using existing IT and IP infrastructure, now it will be possible for companies to create devices that can be controlled remotely and make a direct connection to the cloud and to cloud applications, sending data through the existing IP infrastructure where it can be aggregated and then turned into useful information. This is a really important step for Bluetooth. And one of our member companies, Nordic Semiconductor, will be giving a more detailed presentation of some of the practical benefits of IPv6 connectivity right after my presentation. It's really an exciting announcement. The second addition to Bluetooth 4.2, to Bluetooth Smart in Bluetooth 4.2, is an update to security. And that falls in three areas. The first is privacy. With this new version of the specification, we've made it possible to encode the Bluetooth address of any Bluetooth device. And what that means, it makes it very difficult to track a Bluetooth device from point to point. This gives people assurance that as they're wearing something like a Fitbit and walking through a mall, there's not the possibility that someone could track their movements anywhere. Just because somebody's wearing a Bluetooth device, they might be concerned that they would be able to be tracked. And through this new privacy feature, we will be able to prevent that. The second update was the introduction of industry-standard, government-grade data encryption algorithms into Bluetooth Smart. Now what this provides is the assurance that any data sent over a Bluetooth Smart connection won't be able to be hacked, so that people can have confidence that not only can they not be tracked through their Bluetooth device, but they can also be assured that the data that's sent from whatever personal information gathering system they have to, say, their smartphone or their tablet won't be able to be decrypted and people to be able to read that personal information. So again, Bluetooth is a very widely known and widely trusted technology. And as we see it being applied to more and more new situations where personal data is being gathered, we felt it's very important to provide the assurance that that information remains private and secure, and people will have confidence using these new devices. The last update in this area also provides an additional benefit. The way the two technologies above, the two features above have been implemented also provides some incremental power savings. So Bluetooth 4.2 makes Bluetooth Smart even more power efficient than it was in the past. The last area is regarding speed. And what we've done in Bluetooth 4.2 is increase the size of the packets that can be transmitted by 10 times. And because you can send 10 times more data in any given transmission, you can send a large bulk of data up to 2.5 times faster. And the benefit to this for a consumer is just a more seamless experience. As they connect the device to their smartphone or tablet, the data is transferred that much more quickly, and people actually don't have to think about what's going on with the connection. We want to make these products as usable as possible for consumers. So what does all that mean in terms of how people live their lives? Using Bluetooth technology provides a way, and this is different than many other wireless technologies, it provides a seamless experience across many different parts of someone's life. They can use Bluetooth with their smartphone as they come to a retail environment and have a beacon send them useful information on maybe a special or an offer that they would be interested in. They can use their smartphone or tablet to connect to their fitness device or their personal health tracking device or sports equipment. They can connect it to activity trackers, and they can connect it to home electronics in their home. And one area that's now growing even very fast is in the smart home. And what Bluetooth provides is not just data transmission, but it's a very simple lifestyle where everything in someone's life can connect, and people don't have to worry about which way they're connecting. Are they choosing one kind of radio technology to connect just their lighting and a different one for the rest of the components that they are using in their life? This is a very important thing, and we think it's what consumers are actually demanding. It's not just important, it's the transition that will make the Internet of Everything a reality and something that people want to do so that it's not difficult. These are some of the areas that we see some of the fastest growth in Bluetooth Smart. The first is in health and wellness, growing at almost 100% in the next 3 years. As I mentioned, we've seen retail beacons be deployed in many different instances throughout the world. These provide new information and relevant information to consumers as they approach a retail location, but they're also being implemented in places like airports and industrial and indoor location systems for tracking assets. So there's many different applications for Bluetooth beacons, which will approximately double in size in the next 3 years. Consumer electronics is another area that continues to grow very quickly for Bluetooth technology. And the last, and maybe one of the most exciting areas, is Bluetooth Smart being deployed in smart home implementations. And this is linking together systems in people's homes that allow them to control them more intelligently. We see this going on to where there may not even need to be intervention by the person in the home, that the system starts to learn the person's activity, switching on lights and on and off as needed, turning up thermostats or cooling and heating systems to suit the patterns of the home. So there's lots of different potential applications for Bluetooth in the smart home. And as I said, the reason for that is that it gives a unified, integrated experience to people as they live their lives. One of the things that's driving this is that we have native operating system support from all the major operating system manufacturers. So this native support for Bluetooth Smart in iOS and in Windows Phone and in Android means that it's very easy for developers to create applications for these operating systems. Those application developers do not need to understand the deep technical details of how the Bluetooth works in that particular operating system. They simply write to the API that is provided by these OS providers. And it's when these integrations happen that we really saw the fast movement of new products using Bluetooth Smart coming to market. It's just so simple, it's flexible, and it means companies can come to market very quickly. And they're bringing products to market because we have so many Bluetooth Smart compatible hub devices out there. There's smartphones, there's tablets, PCs, and increasingly Android system televisions and set-top control devices. All of these provide a gateway to connect various Bluetooth devices at home and any consumer experience. Because those hubs are there, because those Bluetooth Smart compatible devices are in people's hands today, companies can be confident that they can bring a product to market and have a very large potential customer base to sell to. And we're seeing Bluetooth be implemented from large companies, such as those companies, Oral-B, bringing out a Bluetooth-enabled toothbrush, to startup companies that, in this instance, are providing a Bluetooth pacifier for babies. It monitors temperature and also proximity, so you can either find the pacifier or the baby where it's crawled off to. Locks, fitness trackers, wearables, health and healthcare, home health devices. All of these different devices are coming to market because of Bluetooth's flexibility, inexpensive implementation, speed to market, and that huge install base of billions of potential customers. We have some of those companies here today, some great examples. We have seen, as I said, implementations from large companies, but it's also interesting to note that two of the largest crowdfunding sources, Kickstarter and Indiegogo in the US, 85% of the wireless projects in those two startup environments are using Bluetooth technology. So it's really a very friendly innovation technology in addition to technology that large companies are using. This shows you the relative growth of Bluetooth in two key environments, health and fitness, and also in smart home. And it compares the growth of Bluetooth to some other technologies. And as you can see, there's a fast move toward Bluetooth, choosing over other technologies. And really, one of the things that to point out here is that last year we saw several acquisitions of Bluetooth chip manufacturers by larger chip manufacturers. And we think that that's indicative of a very healthy market. We have had chip manufacturers who are specializing in Bluetooth, who have been acquired by some larger companies who see an end-to-end solution from lots of different radio technologies. So the future is very bright for Bluetooth. We think that's a very healthy trend. I'd like to turn now to a couple of updates that we also announced today in addition to Bluetooth 4.2, is that we recently announced new officers on the Bluetooth SIG board of directors. And Microsoft, Ericsson, and Apple have been longtime member companies of the Bluetooth SIG board of directors, and now we have them in new officer positions. So leading our Bluetooth board of directors for the next 2 years will be a representative from Microsoft, and the vice president from Ericsson, and our secretary from Apple. These companies are all very involved. They're some of the largest companies in the world that are also on the board of directors and helping move Bluetooth technology in the right direction. We're also announcing today the Bluetooth Breakthrough Award finalists. And the Breakthrough Awards are a way for us to feature on a global basis some of the most innovative uses of Bluetooth technology. We run this contest on an annual basis. It's one that we publicize on a worldwide basis. And we've received over 400 submissions this year from companies around the world who have implemented new Bluetooth products. And as you can see, we've got a very wide range of different kinds of companies. Companies like Microsoft and their new Band, which is a fitness tracker. You've got companies like Resound Smart. Resound is a company that makes Bluetooth-enabled hearing aids. So some of those traditional uses of Bluetooth in audio are still coming to market with more and more innovation, making it simple for people to connect their hearing aids to their smartphone or tablet or to their TV in a very power-efficient way. So we have all kinds of different things from, as I said, a hearing aid swing tracker allows you to analyze your golf and swing of a baseball bat for training. FitGuard is a very interesting one. It is a mouth guard worn by athletes, and it detects heavy blows to the head or to the chin so that you can detect the possibility of a concussion for, say, youth playing contact sports. So some very interesting implementation. The company Ort has come to market with a very innovative version of Bluetooth Smart for smart home. and they have a complete system that meshes together lighting control systems and power control systems throughout the home. So very interesting uses of Bluetooth and some leading edge stuff there. So Bluetooth is the global standard for low power wireless connectivity. Bluetooth 4.2 extends that usability and that central place for Bluetooth in the Internet of Things. And I'd like to thank you for your attention today. Arigatou gozaimasu.